Hello.
We were literally just laughing hysterically. I was sharing stories that and I had Claire.
Maybe not for a live broadcast, you know.
Maybe, probably not for prime time. Not for daytime viewing.
No.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Hello, hello. Hey, Ann and Jimmy. Debbie's hopping on. It's good to see you all. So we've got a fun live at lunch here because Claire, I don't know if you heard, but it's like International Dot Day week. We celebrate it for a week. So some people have International Dot Day. Here at Style Dots, we just do it for a whole week. We have a whole week of celebration. So, hey, everybody. So the first thing, before we get into what I want to share, I want Claire to tell you about her necklace combination because she did something tricky, and I think you guys are going to love it. So, and I already saw comments. Cheyenne said, I love your necklaces, Claire. So,
okay, so if you can see, so I've got the Dotlit combination necklace on, and then I've got, so it's all crystal. So I've got the solitaire Dotlits either side, and then the April couture in the center. So that's sort of all crystal. Then the silver paper link necklace. And I've got the 16-inch or the 17-inch version, but sort of half length, using half the extender as well. So that's your middle length. And then I think this is the good bit that I think Gina wanted to was like, wow. So I've used the bar necklace and then attached our bling bar section from the Interlinks series. To both ends. So I've taken another clasp off one of the other bar necklaces as well, or if you've got the bar bracelets, the clasps are all the same. And so attached that either side and had it as a central piece. So then that links up with all the sort of crystal bling that I've got going on up top as well. And then that gives you that layered look. So you can see sort of it all sort of hangs nicely. Now with the sort of the crystal bar section, it will move about, it will flip and everything, but because it's highly polished silver behind and the back, it doesn't really matter because you get that reflection and bling anyway. But actually it sits quite nicely and quite flat when it's hooked onto the bar link necklace. And if you can wear it centrally. And I was playing around, I wore the longer version as well, but you can't really see longer versions when you're sort of doing a live, so you can wear the longer version, but you can wear it to the side. And that looks quite sort of modern and trendy to have that sort of asymmetric look as well, if you wanted to. And then the other idea I had also, if you're wearing it to the side on the clasps, you could just add an extra charm or a tassel or anything if you wanted that extra zhuzh on the side as well. If you really like that, you're not worried about being symmetrical. Then having that asymmetric look to have all the detail on one side. But I just sort of, the shorter length works better sort of with this look that I've got going on.
Can you stand up just a wee bit so that the necklaces are on this? Because so people, I know it's like a weird, just because your name is there and then the text also will go across, but so you can see all those things. And maybe what I'll have you do, Claire, is make up a graphic. Or I'm sure somebody, in all honesty, while we're on the live, somebody's probably making up a graphic of this look. But yeah, I love it. So
we both having to play around using the other bars as well, you know, the rainbow one and the pearl and everything to sort of see how that sits. But the beauty of this, because it's crystals and single settings that are linked, it's got lots of flexibility. So of course it sits in that beautiful curve. But it might work with the others. I just haven't had a chance to sort of play around, and it will sit like that. But definitely, if you wanted to do the longer line one with the other bars, that would work beautifully as well. And you know, if you're somebody that likes symmetry, you know, if you've got two of those bars, you could have that longer link and wear two either side. And you know, I'm thinking there's so many possibilities because you could attach little, you know, the accents to the clasps and have a chain tassel, and you know, you just have
so many things.
So many things.
Michelle has a question. Are clasps included in the interlocking links chain? So I think she's talking about your bar necklace. So it comes with one. I don't know if you can maybe hold up that one. So it comes with that bar.
With one. So it comes with one clasp because it's just sort of the necklace. The actual bar, the crystal part of it, doesn't come with the clasp. So that's just, you know, because you that's just that you can link that into anything, you know, with it. It was designed to go on our interlinks bracelet. There's a section on there. But I just sort of was thinking that it's so versatile that you can sort of hook it in. So you can see that I've got 2 of the clasps that are on this bar necklace. So I've just taken an additional one off another necklace and put it on here.
Yeah.
So it sort of sits and hangs.
So creative. She got on and I was like, she was like, look what I did. I'm like, oh my word. Girl, I was all proud of myself because I have on, I'm not wearing a statement necklace. I'm wearing the little, our necklace that we released. And then I'm layering it up and I got just a long paper clip chain. So look at us getting outside of our comfort zone, Claire. So right on. Well, welcome everybody. Okay. So for today's live, what we wanted to do was share with you, because we released a lot of products on Tuesday night. The birthstone, the couture dotlets, they're in all the birthstone colors plus fuchsia and black. And so Claire we showed some looks on Tuesday night, Claire, that were more, I would say, like fashion looks, right? Just bringing in different colors and all of that. What I wanted to do today is show you how you can use these Dotlit coutures, or in all honesty, any of our birthstone dots. We have solitaires in both original and Dotlit. We there's so many different options. The Dotlits have the little bling Dotlits that are in a few colors, not in all the birthstones, but we have accents. There's so many things that we've done because people love birthstone jewelry. They love to tell a story with their birthstones. So we have put together a couple of looks, and I'm going to actually put Dot Vision on. And what may be easiest to tell you is to just take mine full screen, and then Claire, I'll let you describe what we have. How does that sound? Yeah. Okay. So
on this one, so we've got the combination Dotlit bracelet. So on here, we decided that was and I think it's a dot that we don't actually show a lot really, which is the Tree of Life. And it's actually such a sweet dot, and it's got all tiny crystals in this lovely curly tree and then white enamel behind it. But then we've pulled out in the Dotlit coutures either side matching crystals. So you've got the emerald version and then you've got the teal zircon version either side. So it sort of links. But as you can see in the Tree of Life, there are other colours there as well. So you could pull out those ones to sit either side. But it's a nice way to have that centerpiece and then highlight sort of those colours either side. Yeah. So it's really pretty. And I think
for this, I did it because, you know, this is my grandson Arlo's birthstone, and this is my granddaughter Emma's birthstone. So that's why I kind of did those two colors.
Yeah, so you could wear it, you know, me coming from sort of a fashion point of view, I do it just on colour, whereas you did it on sentiment of birthstones. It works both ways.
Right? There you go. Okay. My next look is, let's do this one and then I can, okay. So we also have this crazy thing here. What is your, like, as far as sports goes, what is the big sports thing? And is it soccer?
Yeah,
or your football? That is the same way that like we are with like sports here.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. And I think probably, I don't know, second would be probably golf or tennis is sort of big. Okay. Tennis is really big in the UK.
Okay, right on. So I made this one, and again, you're going to have to go full screen, Talia. That's going to be the bouncing back and forth between 1 and 2, Talia, today. So I made this one for Go How about them Chiefs? So basically, it's a football, but we have baseball, we have like all the different, several different sports things, and then I just put the team colors in those Dotlit coutures on either side. So
I think that's a great sort of way to utilize that. And, you know, if it's college colors or whatever you wanted to put in there, you know, it works really well. And again, you know, you could do it with your kids' birthstones as well, sort of to do those colors either side. But I think it'd be great, you know, you could layer it up, you know, and have a few, you know, to, you know, even if you had sort of the interlinks bracelet and had the Dotlit charm, you know, if you wanted additional colours there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, what was I going to say? One of the things, so there's another one that lets you wear multiple dotlets, and that is our Waterfall necklace. And it's always kind of tricky holding up a necklace. Okay. So here I kind of went patriotic, or this could be for the Cardinals, but.
And I love this necklace because I think it's really versatile, sort of the combinations that you can put in it. So it worked extremely well with using our original dots, but it's just so sweet. And just sort of the scale of it is lovely in the Dotlit version. And of course, any of the combination of putting the Dotlits in works really well on that one. And I like that you went patriotic on that. Because it's actually patriotic for us in the UK as well, because that's our colours too.
Those are your colours also?
Yeah.
You had red, white, and blue probably before we had red, white, and blue?
Maybe.
Just for a little bit before. So not much. Okay, so the other thing, I'm changing these out, guys, so that you can see all the different. So I'm like swapping them up. So we've got new looks. So just I can get clear while I'm doing this.
I think with, you know, when we're looking at sort of Dotlits to design them, it's such a small space to actually put any sort of decoration on there. So it's only sort of certain amount of crystals and everything that fit. But with the coutures, because of the way that they're made, you know, they have a putty that's placed into the base dot, and then crystals are pushed into that putty, and then it all goes solid. It means that there's no sort of additional metal space that you have to take into consideration. So we can get a lot more crystals into that tiny little space. So I think it gives you that really lovely sort of bling effect, you know, that's really sort of sparkly and shiny. But I think the whole combination of all of them, I love seeing them all together. You know, when you've got the all the colours together, it just looks lovely. A rainbow effect, Gina, right up your street.
Can you explain the various sizes of dots? I'm confused what goes in. I'm going to sneeze just a second. Various pieces of jewelry. Do I have so I can show you. Claire, why don't you take me off camera for a minute, Talia, and I'm going to go grab a statement, because that's a great question. I'll grab a statement and a square so that way you can see kind of all the sizes. So.
Okay, so we do. So what we're showing and what we released on Tuesday was our Dotlits, which is our smallest size. So they're approximately about 9 millimeters round. So they're tiny. So you can actually see on my necklace here sort of a scale difference. So the two dots either side are the Dotlits. So they're the tiny ones. And then in the center, this is our original size, which is about 13 millimeters. So you can see sort of visually the scale here. Very difficult on camera. I'm pointing to the right way. There we go. So they're about 13 millimeters round. And then our next size up, we go in round, is to our statement version, which they're about 30 millimeters round. So a big jump. And when Gina brings them back, you can see the scale. She'll put them all sort of three together so that you can see. And then we do our squares, and they're sort of a 14 millimeter size. And again, that's sort of in between really the original size and the statement. So, but because they're squared off, they look slightly bigger than an original. But in terms of sort of millimeter size, it's not that much difference. So then and then the foundation pieces some pieces we do exactly the same style for those different sizes. So, for example, we do Gina's just saying.
I'm going to try. It's hard to hold up like 4 things at one time. So this is the Dotlit compared to the original. So you can kind of see this is 8 millimeters. This is 12 millimeters. Then if I keep the 12 millimeter and I go to the difference between the 12 millimeter original and a style square, so you can see a smidge bigger. And then if I go from the 12 millimeter square to the statement. So the statement is quite a bit bigger than any of our other things. It really does make a statement. So those are all the different sizes. That was a great question.
So in terms of foundation pieces, to give you an example, like our classic single necklace, we do that for the Dotlit, and we have that for the original, and we have a version, you know, our classic statement link necklace, which is sort of the closest to that single version of necklace. And then the waterfall, we do also that in a Dotlit and in the original size. And we do the classic in a square as well. So you've got just a single square that's sort of really simple and plain and elegant. So there are crossovers in terms of designs in foundation pieces that go across the whole, all 4 sizes and shapes.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one that I have to show, Claire, is, and because we haven't talked about, this is a new dot that we've added that's a website exclusive. And it is our new hockey dot. So I'll let you kind of share.
So this one is sort of quite an interesting one because we sort of went very neutral with this, but it's all about the detail and the texture that's in the background of this dot. So we didn't want just sort of a plain background. We wanted to add a bit more detail. So you've got sort of this wave engraved texture behind. And then 2 sort of crossing hockey sticks in the middle, and then a black crystal. But then the whole surface of it has got clear enamel. So you've got sort of a smooth finish. So you can see that it's sort of that slight dome. So the hockey sticks are slightly raised above the enamel, but this wave texture underneath you can't feel because it's got this clear enamel going over the top. So you've got this lovely sheen. But I think it just looks really simple and elegant, being that design and just sort of all metal, just with that one bit of black jet crystal bling.
And that's my shout out to the St. Louis Blues, because that's the only hockey team that I know about. So what are you going to do? Okay, let me see if we've missed any other questions. I don't think that we have. Yeah. Jennifer's like, I love that dot. We do too, Jennifer. We do too. Okay, so let me. So one of the things I think that I like to do when it's like the combo things, like, you know, like we've got where you're doing different sizes and all of that, is also to kind of take advantage of, because oftentimes what we do, Claire, is we design intentionally with the thought that you're going to mix and match the sizes. And so to give you things that, you know what I mean, that would work, whether, you know what I mean? So you can wear a statement in your necklace, and then you've got, you know, other things. So a couple of different that I wanted to show. So this is our combination necklace. Thanks, Talia. Then I'll let you kind of talk about the differences here.
Okay, so with our we've got our spring couture in the center there. So you've got a dichroic, and then you've got Swarovski, fuchsia Swarovski crystals going around the outside. But what we wanted to show you with this one is sort of 2 ways of wearing it, because the center of the Dotlit combination necklace is the original. You want to sort of pull out those elements for either side of the sort of Dotlit. So you can then do the spring dichroic and pulling out the dichroic element on one side. So you can have that and sort of have 2 of those sort of to do your combination. Or if you wanted more bling, then pull out the sort of the fuchsia and the pink tones and use that as the couture on the other side. So you could have a combination of those. So it works both ways. And because our sort of, some of our dots have 2 colors or 2 textures or 2 combinations, you can actually do different things with it. So you can see that works really well either way. If you were to pick the dichroic or the couture, you know, it sort of sits and pulls out the elements of your center stone.
Yep. And then I also did, so we showed you like the monochrome couture in the square, or in the statement, but I also wanted to show how, because ombre, kind of that ombre effect is so big right now, Claire. Yeah. That, and then we can go to 1, Talia. Thank you. Okay. Then, so here what I've done. Go ahead. You can explain what I've done.
Oh, you've got the monochrome original couture in the center. So that has this sort of ombre effect of crystals. So you're going from clear to clear AB to black diamond and jet, sort of in that sort of arc, with your dichroic in the center. And actually what Gina's done here, which looks, I wouldn't really have thought of that, but that looks really good. So she's got the crystal couture dotlet one side and then the jet version the other, and it actually reflects that arc and that ombre effect of monochrome crystals going around on the monochrome couture in the center. So just works really well. Or if you're some people are not don't like the asymmetric and want to sort of be even and symmetrical, so you could wear either. So if you wanted a pair of the jet ones either side, you could. Or vice versa. But I think that is really nice and reflecting either side of the monochrome.
And it's maybe Gina getting outside of her box a little bit and putting together combinations.
Yes.
I didn't go matchy-matchy. Yeah. Okay, I've got, I think, like one more look. And then, Claire, if there's anything you're thinking like, oh, and then I want to talk about the earring thing because I'll do those two things. But okay, so this is another kind of a combination for a mom. So you've got the baby feet, but then you can totally just add whatever, that would be the March birthstone aquamarine, and the October birthstone is the rose colored. So that's the great thing I think about these birthstones is you can really build them out, Claire.
Yeah.
To, you know what I mean, to create something that that layers and sits well, and you know what I mean, for all of the things. You could honestly probably do some fun things with layering of bracelets where, you've got your kids are in the original size, and then your grandkids are in like the dotlet size. Like there's so many things that you can really do and play with. And yeah, it's been very fun. I
think with the one with the baby feet, you could do something really fun because it hasn't been a really big thing in the UK, but gender reveal parties are becoming really popular in the UK. Yeah. And you could try and do something fun, sort of having those baby feet and the sort of the blue and the pink sort of coutures either side, and sort of playing some sort of game with that gender reveal and guessing that. I think that would work really well. But yeah, it's very new. It's new in the UK, sort of gender reveal party.
It's been around here for a while. It's so funny because there's a guy on Instagram that he actually kind of makes fun of, like, okay, like that's over the top, like, okay, now you've gone too far in what you've done. And so he pulls out like funny gender reveals that he's seen. And yeah, but okay, so this is the necklace, and this is going to be limit 1 per person until tomorrow at noon, and then then it'll just, whatever's left, people can order however many that they're needing if they're wanting. But this is the antique dotlet necklace.
Yes. So it's very similar design to our new estate line in our catalogue that we brought in. But because of scale and everything, you can't get, the estate line has a row of silver balls as well, the beading as well. And we wanted to keep the design of this sort of petite and small because it's sort of all about dotlets, and that is about the scale. So that's why it's not sort of identical, but it layers beautifully with the estate line, because sort of the whole texture and layering, you've got the rope edge, you've got the row of crystals as well. So you could so layer it up. And I think if you wore that necklace short and then had sort of the original or the statement hanging longer, or use the drop, that whole combination, it layers up beautifully together and sort of gives you that really refined look. So works great together.
And then the other thing that I have in is the, and you probably don't need to go, you don't need to take Claire off of this, but this is our new Pave ball.
Yes, so that's our rainbow Pave ball. And if anybody doesn't know, Pave is a term used for a setting in fine jewelry. And Pave it's sort of the tiny granulation that would hold, in real jewelry, basically it holds the stones into a setting. So it's all those little tiny balls of metal that actually catch over the edge of the stones that hold them in. So Pave is that technique. So that's why it's the rainbow Pave ball. But again, it's got that multicolored sort of crystals all over. So you could wear it with anything. And I think it's fun with that. You layer it with the tassels or put an accent with it. You know, again, so many possibilities.
Yeah.
And I think really works great with the interlinks, you know, just to wear it as a charm hanging off. So very versatile.
Yeah, everybody's like, I want a Pave ball. I want to, right? They're gorgeous. They're so fun. Like, I think that I've had these on since Tuesday night. I'm like, I'm wearing things that I can, I can wear with both of them. So, yeah, we will let the rest of the staff know it's Pave, not Pavel. Pavel is actually a guy's name. It's like because I had to look it up because I was like, I know it's called Pave, but is that like an alternate name for it? So yeah, that's a big.
Well, it's interesting. Pave actually is about, and it's special because it's about sort of how the grains of metal are laid out to hold the stones, and how the stones are laid out. And the other term is grain setting, but then that's slightly different because grain setting can just be a single row of crystals. But the Pave is those crystals en masse, really, that's all set with grains of metal.
Yeah. So Michelle Miller my mouse is dead. Wait, there it's back. I wanted to show you her. So she said, love all the Dotlit coutures and the Pave ball. We need these in our line for sure. So Claire, they're wanting them. I didn't mean to. And Dare was agreeing with her. I meant the wrong thing. But so yeah, we've heard you. We've been hearing it since we released it Tuesday night. And Tuesday night was a huge like it was a big night for style. Like we had a lot of sales that came in on Tuesday night. So we know that you all are loving it. And we'll
and I think the Dotlits, you know, they work really well with the other Dotlits we've got, you know, and the bling ones, they sit perfectly. Some of the colors sit perfectly. So, you know, have a play around with the combination Dotlit necklace or the waterfall, and you can do sort of a tonal necklace of sort of using sort of the solitaire, the bling and the couture. That works really well, all in the same color. You know, on the waterfall necklace, you know, it looks really great. Or you could have them on the interlinks bracelet as charms hanging off, and you know, sort of making sure that you've got an ombre effect.
I wanted you to see that Tina said you're amazing.
Thank you very much.
So again, just to close, because we're getting questions also on what Claire's wearing. The Dotlit combination necklace in the top with the new diamond couture in the center, or the diamond solitaire in the center, and then the coutures on the side, or
the way around. So I've got the Dotlit solitaires either side, and then the original version of the couture April version, and then I've got the paper link necklace. Worn, it's the 17-inch version, worn at slightly longer length using the extender so that you've got that mid-level. And then I've got our bar necklace. And what I've done is to take a clasp off one of the other necklaces and then put the bling bar at the bottom of that. So it hangs around. Because it's all linked, it hangs in that beautiful curve. So it sits really well together. But you could try out, have a go wearing it with the longer line as well, because I think that would be fun to have that hanging sort of onto the side, or, you know, there is lots of combinations and sort of play around.
Yeah. We had some folks that were taking that the bling connector and basically taking two of them and actually creating, it almost looked like a tennis bracelet. I mean, it went all the way around their wrist. And so I think that that's been super versatile. That's another piece also that people have been like, we need it in other colors. So like, okay. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for hopping on with us here for Live at Lunch for some different creative ways that you can wear Style Dots jewelry. And I think that we're doing good. I think Talia, no, we'll wait on how it works. I'll play that another time since we're out of time. But anyway, take care, everybody. And we'll see you all. Don't forget tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. Karen and Belinda Ellsworth are going to be coming on to talk about to the Discover Style Dots, to talk about Style Dots and the business opportunity. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, then I would say hop on to the live tonight with Karen and Belinda. I'm sure that it's going to be a hoot.
Yes.
So, and then if you don't have things going on Friday night, we've got tomorrow night, we've got Ashley is doing another game night. So anyway, take care, everybody. And I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.